Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? How you doing? This is Dr. Stevie Mills, and we are back with the episode of The Conversation with Stevie. And so you know that this is the show that is all about the why behind the what of what people do. We want to get down to that story, honey, and understand why people do what they do. So I am here today with an amazing guest, y'all. She is such an amazing woman that I have had the pleasure to connect with, and I had to invite her to the show because, honey, she is doing some dope stuff here in the marketplace and beyond. So her name is Chavon Thomas. Hello, Chavon. How are you?
Hello, Dr. Stevie. I am doing well. I'm excited to be here.
Yay! We are excited to have you, darling. And so I believe that the best introductions that one can ever do is an introduction of themselves. So please do go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. Again, Dr. Stevie, thank you for having me. I'm so honored. Everyone, my name is Chavon Annette. My government name, first and last, is Chavon Thomas, but brand-wise, I go by Chavon Annette. But I'm so excited to be here talking with you all. But I am a certified leadership and life coach. I go by the FIRE leadership coach. I am also a best-selling author as well as a transformational speaker. And I just love the opportunity to enrich people to thrive in life, leadership, and business. And I do that with a mission to help people break fear, build faith, and lead confidently, because I believe that everyone is called to lead in different capacities. And the key is that you just have to be bold, courageous, and confident enough to go ahead, take that leap of faith, and do what it is you know you have been created to do.
Awesome. I love that. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how can somebody know what they've been created to do?
Absolutely. So one thing that I like to say to people when it comes to what you've been created to do is first look at the things that you're passionate about. I love the idea of passion points and pain points. These are two terms that I learned over the course of being a certified leadership and life coach, is that our passion points and our pain points usually will direct us to our place of purpose, because the things you're passionate about, the things that literally make you stay up at night, whether from excitement or whether there is just a need for change, those two things will literally lead and direct you to that place where you're going to be the most fulfilled, actually working in that area, operating in that area. And so oftentimes that comes from our experiences, that comes from things we see in society, that can also come from things that we see culturally, whether in our own culture or in another culture, that will literally lead us and direct us to that place of our greatest desire to fulfill. And that's what I like to call your purpose and your God assignment.
Perfect. You said the God assignment?
Yes, the God assignment. Because as a believer, the purpose for us on the earth is really to make, I like to say, optimal impact. You're supposed to make optimal impact in whatever area that you are called, right? And specifically, even as a believer, as a kingdom citizen, our assignment is to make disciples. Our assignment is to spread the good news of who God is. And that can be seen in our lives. That can be seen in our workplace. That can be seen in entrepreneurship. That can be seen in ministry and all of the other different areas, the different mountains of influence. And so that's our purpose ultimately. But then we have a God assignment. And so our God assignment will be that specific area that is our niche, that specific area that it is that we are called to impact. So what is it for you? Is it government? Is it education? Is it media? Is it entertainment? What is your area where you're supposed to really, I like to say, conquer as you show up and allow God to show out in you?
Awesome. I love it. So that takes the pressure off, I think. If we just rest in our God assignment and we show up how God wants us to do that, I believe it takes the pressure off of trying to be perfect. What do you think?
Absolutely. And that's one of the big things that have to be dealt with is that perfection piece. And I like to say it as removing the mask. Because for a long time I had a mask up of everything's okay, everything's fine, and I'm perfect. Knowing I wasn't perfect, but that's how I presented myself, because it's almost as if we feel like that's the only way that people will receive us, is if everything is perfect. So we don't want to do anything, we don't want to move, we don't want to say anything, or we only speak from that place of perfection, but then we can't truly make the connections that are necessary to make the greatest impact that we could possibly make in someone else's life. And so we have to remove the mask of perfection so that we can show up and make connections, and then also so that we can simply show up. Because if not, we will run away from what it is we're supposed to be doing instead of embracing it.
Awesome. So what are some of the things that you think hold people back? Is it like a lack of knowledge? Do you think that they just don't have the confidence? What are some things, if we dig deeper, that you think is going to be something where people just are not doing what they've been called to do?
One is definitely the fear. And it's fear from multiple angles, I like to say. Because sometimes we look at fear as this one big word, but it's like different branches of fear, I should say. So like there's fear of rejection, there's fear of failure, there's fear of being hurt, there's fear of disappointment, there's fear of abandonment. So all of these things stem out of this one word or this one idea of fear. And it's very important because I look at it as an onion. There are layers of fear in our lives, and we have to literally take the time to unpack the different layers of fear that we find ourselves basically running into and causing us to not face it but run away from it. And so it's so important for us to identify the areas where we find ourselves feeling fear, even the fear of success. That is something that I ended up having to deal with as well. One of my coaches, she brought up the fact that fear of success looks like the fear of responsibility, right? And so that's really big. When you know that God is calling you to something, calling you to greater and calling you to more, you can feel like, am I really ready for the more? Am I really the one for the job? Am I really the one that is going to take this baton and run with it and succeed or help somebody else take their place? And so that fear of success. So really unpacking what fears you're really dealing with. And so for a while, it was the fear of rejection. Like someone saying something bad about me stepping out and taking leaps of faith. And then it was the fear of failure. I'm going to jump out here, and then all of a sudden it's not going to go right. It's going to all flop, and I'm going to look like a fool, really, right? Or the fear of success, like I already mentioned. And then also what you said that was so powerful is knowledge. I always say that what I've done since 2019 when I had my rock bottom experience, what I've always done and come to understand is I need to find myself at the feet of Jesus and also at the feet of those who have language for my purpose. And so knowledge is key. What you don't know, you just don't know. So you have to be willing to invest in yourself to literally allow you to gain the knowledge that you need so that you can go forth in what it is that you have identified as your place of purpose or your God assignment in the earth. And so once you do those things, you're really in a good position to really go forth. And I like to say, hit the ground running and never look back again. And then what you also mentioned about the confidence piece. Confidence was definitely an issue for me as well. But I learned to be confident once I prepared myself, once I invested in myself, once I got the knowledge that I needed, and once I was sure that this is what God was telling me to do, my confidence grew more and more and more. And all of these areas, which is beautiful, is that you can continue to grow and transform and evolve over time. And so every level, you're going to have to face a different level of fear, and you're going to have to conquer it at each level. You're going to have to make sure you have the confidence for each level. You're going to have to make sure you have the language for each level. So we never get to a place where we are done learning and growing, but we continue to progress over time.
Wow. So how do you think that best translates in business, right? Because a lot of people who listen to us are business owners. So if you could give us one example of how, because what you're describing to me is a process, right? It's a processing that you have to go through from being on one end to the next. So as a business owner, if there was one thing, and I know there are many things that could go into this, but if there's one thing that I can do once I finish listening to us today, what would be that one action, and what do you think that can lead to?
So for a business owner, the action step is, I would say, continue. There is always this thought in the back of your mind, maybe I should quit, or maybe I shouldn't try this new thing. But the key is to continue. What you have started, what you have decided to move forward in, continue. Allow God and allow yourself to sit down and allow God to give you new ideas, new innovative ways to continue to build on what you've started and what you created. Don't quit because it's hard. Don't quit because it's not kind of flowing as you thought it would flow when you initially set that new thing in place, but continue. And you're going to see your consistency and your decision to continue, that it's going to yield fruit. And that's what we're looking for as business owners, that we will continue to yield fruit and that our fruit would expand and it would literally continue to evolve over time. And so the key for a business owner is to continue, knowing that God is with you and knowing that what you have put in place, what you have prepared, that it will continue to grow over time. So I would encourage every business owner to continue.
I love it. And so as we begin to wrap up, I want you to do two things for me. The first one is I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to go ahead and share whatever is on your heart for the people today. And then I want you to go ahead and give your contact information so that people will be able to stay connected to you.
Absolutely. So, everyone, I would like to leave you with this amazing quote by Dr. Miles Monroe. It's my favorite quote of all time as of right now in this current season. He says, the fact that you are alive today is an indication that you have something the world needs. So I would encourage you, especially the business owners and even some who are considering becoming business owners, understand that what you are producing in the earth, what you are creating in the earth, and what you will create in the future, it is so needed, it is so necessary, and it is so vital. It is not small, it is not minute, it is not insignificant, but it is important. And so continue to do what it is that you are doing, and go forth with boldness, go forth confidently, go forth courageously, and go forth with a consistent effort, knowing that what you are doing is literally going to help change lives. It's going to help bring transformation in our world. You have the opportunity to make impact on culture. We don't have to be influenced by culture, but we can instead make impact in culture through the different means in the different areas in which we lead. And so as a leadership and life coach, I love the opportunity to partner with people for the accountability, for the progress, for the process, and for the growth that is literally going to catapult you even further into what it is that God is calling you to do. So if you know that fear is in your way, if you know that sometimes your faith is lagging, or you know that you don't have the confidence you need, I would love the opportunity to partner with you. I also have self-paced courses that are also available called Powerhouse Leaders University. There are different courses in there to help you tackle these different issues, and so that you can go forth and do what it is that you've been purposed and ordained to do in the earth. So I would absolutely love the opportunity to connect with you all. And thank you so much, Dr. Stevie, for this beautiful opportunity to share.
You are so very welcome, y'all. You have heard it here. We have had such an amazing conversation. The conversation with Stevie just gets better and better and better because we allow people to come and tell us why they have this going on, why they started, why they're so passionate. And I think that's the biggest thing. Yes, the conversation is only about 15 to 20 minutes long, but that is orchestrated so that you can connect with the people who we are having conversations with. If we gave it all here, honey, why in the world would you connect? So I am Dr. Stevie Mills. Super excited. Y'all know that if you want to ever connect with me, you just need to know how to spell my first name correctly, Stevii. And you can find me on social media. You can find me online. You can find me offline. The greatest place to find me, though, is right here on The Conversation with Stevie. And if you ever need anything, just go to createyocash.com. Again, createyocash.com so that you can become part of my world. So as we always in everything that we do, I want to tell you to make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Bye for now.